Is it picking? Okay. Yes, it's picking something up. Jesus. All right, now we're going to do that. Then what the fuck is... you can't hear? Can you hear? Can anybody hear me? Do we got yes. Okay. Well, then how the fuck am I gonna all right, give me a second. All right, let's see if that changes anything. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. I am hoping it just, I think it'll just... Okay, so I know... I don't know what is happening, but let me explain the situation because I've got it narrowed down slightly. My headset microphone, for whatever reason, is taking the place of my microphone that I usually use, except I can't select this microphone. It's the one that's just on by default. So I don't... I can't... I guess I can't wear a headset today? Huh. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna do a thing. By the way, thank you, Sean EP. By the way, for 10 tier 1 subbies. Holy shit! Thank you so much. All right. I guess we're going tiny. I've been unplugging and replugging the headphones in. I do not know what the fuck is going on. It's driving me up a wall though. So I'm just gonna go get some AirPods I can use with those. Okay. The mic wants you to use audio monitors as headphones. The mic wants you to use audio monitors. Why? Why? That's so dumb, dude. All right, I'm gonna try these, and we're gonna fucking see if we can make it work. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm just losing my fucking mind slowly. This fucking blows chunks, dude. Well, I don't have headphones then. No, those are in pieces. That sucks. All right, give me 1 second. Yeah, well, I don't think any mutes right now are intentional. I'm just... All right, we're going to go see if we can figure it out in Bluetooth settings. What do you want from me? This fucking sucks, dude. All right. Yeah, what's the deal with the Haley Stevens shit, man? Why do I have the Haley Stevens? I'm willing to bet these are. Hey, chat. Let's not interact with somebody who has Goy in their name and the other username is my wife's boyfriend. Abdul Al Sayed campaigned with Hassan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11. Hell yeah. Awesome, bro. Haley Israel spoke to me in a dream, Stevens. I didn't realize, by the way, I haven't really paid much attention to the Michigan race. I didn't realize that Haley Stevens was so fucking millennial with it. Like, she really is incredibly cringe. No, it's fine. Let him be. I don't care. I just like honestly, I can't even tell at this point where these dorks are coming from, who sent them here. These could be destiny, these could be bad empanada people. I don't know. Hey, I piss off a lot of people. Thank you, Taco, for $2. God damn, is it really that high, Hammock? All right, let me go over to. Nope. I've been typing on my tablet all day, and it always takes like a second to readjust. Most expensive Democrat primary ever. No shit. I'm more curious about like why. Like it very clearly seems to be one person jumping from one account to another to come drop in my chat. Robot voice, great. Is it? Okay, cool. All right. That should be fine. All right. Cool. There we go. Let me see if my Blu-ray. Let me see if my fucking feeling a little bit better, are we? Like Gloria Arnold or whatever you're gonna fucking sign into next. I can tell it's the same poster. You're the only person in chat who has talked about fucking Haley Stevens. Garby the cat meows. Thank you. I appreciate that. Big fan. You help me understand different angles than those of my own. Thank you. I don't care about Haley Stevens. Ask me why I support Haley. No. I have a feeling you've told me several times anyway. Like, what? No. Come on. I feel like John Hammond trying to get the fucking Blu-ray thing to connect. Just come on. Come on, little one. You hate me. Okay. God, yeah, let me, I guess, fucking try it with my headphones. Try it with these headphones. Let's see if we can connect to these. Nope. All right, let's try the JBL one more time. There we go. Lord. Hell yeah. All right, let me see if this works. Make sure. Thank. All right, cool. Cool. We got it. Hey, we got it working. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Is it? Okay, there we go. I don't know. I was sorry. I got fucking distracted. I hooked up my headphone. What did the troll say? I wasn't paying attention. All in all, it's good. Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Pautism67. Is this a pyro stream? I don't think so. Mic audio bad? What the fuck happened now? Did it? Is this it? The yeah. Yep. It fucking changed, so I can't. So it was doing my headset mic then. So I don't know what's going on today. I'm just gonna have to. All right, I'll deal with that later. I guess we just won't watch any videos today because it switched it to the Beats mic. That blows. Just to be here for 9. Could Destiny win an MMA fight against thick Nick Fuentes? Could Destiny win against thick Fuentes? Probably not. Like, honestly. Like, look, Nick Fuentes is about as fucking intimidating as a hamster. But like, Destiny is also Destiny. Did I hear about Amnesty International surrendering to fucking... Ugh. No, I didn't hear that yet. I did want to read up on the... More than 60 million of outside spending is poured into the Senate contests. Jesus Christ. Okay, I feel like Mother Jones is really burying the lead by being like, more than 60 million is poured into the Senate contest. No, more than 60 million is poured into Stevens. Oh my God. Holy fuck. That's terrible. God, I really hope Syed takes it. Really quick, I want to go over some daily news here. But before I fully get to that, I want to talk about some things that we talked about a little bit a while back. We talked about the many, many, many trans people who have been killed this year. And as hard as it is, I want to keep putting a spotlight on these people because so many of the victims go entirely unacknowledged in the mainstream. They go entirely, just entirely unsung in any way. Black trans teen was shot and killed in Florida. Almost no one reported it. Police misgendered Jayla McGee. A local media overlooked her homicide, and her community was left to make sure she was not erased. If a black trans teenager gets shot and killed in Florida and no one reports it, what does that say about the value of their life? It's a question trans activists are struggling with after the scant attention paid to the killing of Jayla McGee, a 19-year-old whose death has been barely acknowledged by the media or authorities. We just talked about, in the last stream, I spoke about how the common struggles between different minority groups might not be the same, but they certainly do rhyme. How what affects trans people, what affects people of color, of all different backgrounds, you don't know what it's like inherently. Like for example, me as a white trans person, I don't know what it's like. I will never know what it's like to get the talk so many black people I know, so many of my black friends got when they were younger, where their parents pulled them aside and said, hey, be careful with police because they can kill you, because they can and will shoot you and get away with it. I don't know what that's like, but again, my struggle rhymes in a way. The idea of being pulled over by a cop and being gender nonconforming is scary. I am not claiming at all that I could ever know what it's like to be pulled over while being a different race, but being trans does put a different target on me. There are so many ways in which our struggles are different between every group that is under any kind of struggle. But where they're similar, I feel a lot of the time it gets overlooked, especially in cases like this where it might as well be the same. Black trans women and trans women of color are at phenomenally, ridiculously, statistically higher risk of being assaulted, being murdered by police, by people they know, by total strangers, far more than any other group. And when those bad things happen, so many people turn a blind eye. I want you, as we go through this, I want you to keep that part of it in mind. McGee's relatives announced her death on social media after she died on July 5th. Posts promoting a candlelit vigil held July 18th identified her as Jayla and Baby J, while others used her apparent assigned name. In various posts, her mother referred to McGee while also sharing graphics bearing the name Jayla. Now, according to social media reports, McGee died from gun violence in Belle Glade, Florida, where she was born and raised. Quote, upon arrival, deputies located an adult male deceased from gunshot wounds. What a fucking... Oh. Fucking cops, man. And I can only imagine how depraved fucking Florida cops are compared to everybody else. Mysterious fatal shooting with the killer potentially still at large had garnered no media attention in the Palm Beach market, despite South Florida being a major media market. The shooting occurred less than an hour from West Palm Beach and roughly the same distance from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in a lower-income inland community near one of the wealthiest coastal regions in the nation. The death did earn notice from Pittsburgh Lesbian Correspondence, which chronicles the violent deaths of trans people, particularly trans people of color. The site notes McGee was the 15th reported trans person of color killed. Goddamn, the 15th this year. Trans person of color killed. Quote, that silence forced Jayla's family and friends to preserve the record themselves. They documented her face, identity, names, date of death, and gun violence they say ended her life and the grief that followed. Without their testimony, a young black trans person could die violently and disappear from public understanding because official documentation failed to connect the death to the person her community knew. McGee's erasure fits a broader pattern advocates have documented across the South, where the deaths of black trans women can't be distorted or obscured by official records that fail to recognize their identities, investigate possible bias, or accurately count the violence affecting their communities. A March report from the social justice organization Julian cataloged more than 150 deaths described as modern-day lynchings, notable hate crimes or suspicious deaths from across 7 southern states, including Florida. More than 50 of the cases involved trans women. The organization argues that the intersection of racism and transphobia is compounded by institutional failures, including incomplete investigations, inaccurate classifications, and records that do not reflect the people their families and communities knew. Yeah. Federal statistics provide an incomplete picture as well. Hate crime reporting to the FBI is voluntary and participation varies among law enforcement agencies. Of course it fucking does. And now, like, here's the thing, is that now you can't even believe that shit. Because there's no guarantee that there are not internal memos and internal dictates to just outright ignore things that might be classified as a hate crime. Like, I would bet you there are people right now working under Kash Patel, working in the FBI, working in the intelligence community that are just fucking shredding documents where people are like, oh yeah, no, this person was killed for being trans. This person was killed for being queer, because they will cook the books in any way. They absolutely will. McGee's family's previous loss to gun violence did not receive the same lack of attention. Jesus. Her younger sister was killed in a shooting at her home on the same block. And that tragedy earned extensive coverage from ABC affiliate WPBF. God. Let me look these up really quick. I-001. $16.38. I need $16.38. The Harming Child Abuse Victims Act. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want this. 5 days ago. Oh, my God. We also have fucking... we got to talk about the Ethan Klein thing. God damn. All right. While Washington families are struggling to pay for food, housing, and healthcare, a MAGA mega donor is spending millions on 2 poorly written initiatives. Brian Haywood, Seattle area hedge fund founder. Fuck off. Toy Groiper. Toy. You should change your name, Toy Groiper. To Pickle. Thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Talio Pally and Piccolo the Goat. Despite my consternation. But Piccolo the Goat, that's what I'm wondering. I'm hoping it's a joke name, maybe? Because I've seen you've been chill so far. It's the name that throws me off. Some people collect coins. This is the billionaire. Counter argument to what you said. Never said anything crazy or said anything was positive or negative. Wait, what? Oh, you were asking somebody earlier. Some people run marathons. A few spend tens of millions of dollars to influence politicians or political parties. Brian Haywood, hedge fund founder in the Seattle suburbs, is using his fortune to take his causes straight to the voters of his adopted state. Fucking, he's not even from here. Since 2022, he formed a political action committee, Let's Go Washington. He spent $11 million. God. You really can just fucking buy your way into whatever you want. That's crazy. Putting 20 conservative policy proposals in front of Washington lawmakers or voters, poised to force either legislative action or a public vote this year on 2, a parents' rights measure and a proposal to ban trans athletes from girls' scholastic sports by requiring potential student athletes to prove they were born biologically female. It's literally just some rich fucking asshole whose brain was deep fried by probably listening to Joe Rogan and scrolling Facebook too much, being like, nope, actually, I'm going to pay to make sure that everybody has to live like I want. My intention with the initiatives always is to do as little intrusive damage as possible, to fix stuff that's happening, insisted Haywood. What the fuck does he do? Oh, he's a hedge fund manager, right. Fucking nothing. Hedge fund founder. Oh, even more useless. God. So somebody who doesn't even work for their fucking money. Somebody who manages people who manage rich people's money and portfolios. Like, dude, rich people, I think they just don't have shit to do, right? Like, that's why they get more radical over time. They just don't have fucking anything to do. They end up listening to all this shit, falling down online rabbit holes, and then having to decide, oh, I have to do something. Brr, brr, brr. Fake ass job. Exactly. Hey, you know what? If you're rich enough, you can just do a fake ass job, it turns out. Blah, blah, blah. Insisted Mr. Haywood, who attended, Trump's inauguration last year and named his Redmond, Washington ranch after the legendary libertarian hero, John Galt. Sorry. Libertarian literary hero, John Galt. Legendary is a stretch there. Oh, man. Naming your ranch after fucking an Ayn Rand character is crazy. Woof. His opponents, of which there are many, see his free spending ways differently. Free spending is a wild way to say he's openly just trying to buy fucking legislation. He's an oligarch, said Danny Askini. Whatever. Executive director of Washington's Gender Justice League. That shit goes hard. I'm sorry. Gender Justice League is crazy. Look. I'm not always the best at naming shit, but you can't be out here in 2026 trying to fucking really make tracks for queer people and have a name like Gender Just. Like, what are we doing? What are we look at my fucking. That's Gender Justice League is like, did nobody think how that would look on paper? Did nobody? He's spending millions and millions of his own money backing these measures about trans people. A year ago, he was pushing something else. He's a political opportunist. Mr. Haywood, 58, described himself as a uptight, poor, redneck Mormon kid. Fucking Mormon kid. Yeah, first off, Mormon, uptight, sure. Poor, usually not. Redneck, shut the fuck up. Who made his way to Harvard and then helped found a hedge fund. Yep. It was more liberal than I am, but I saw it as sort of a libertarian left, a very livable kind of liberalism, which is a way to say, you know what? I can deal with all these queeros if they don't tax me. So that's what happened. A less restrictive regulatory environment at the time. Washington, which went for a Republican president candidate when Ronald Reagan won in 1984, has moved further left under Governor Jay Inslee. Blah, blah, blah. I've just had... No, here it is. George Floyd 2020, accountability, Capitol Hill. Those changes capped what Mr. Haywood views as an uber-progressive shift in the state. It's always funny when people call this out. By the way, when people are like, the Democrats, they're just, it's like, you never see Jay Inslee out here doing this. It's the people. It's groups of people who come together as a community to support each other, to fucking go out in the streets and protest. Are there opportunists? Are there rabble-rousers? Are there troublemakers? Sure. Always fucking are. But it's never like an elective Democrat representative. People are just always looking for some fucking scapegoat to justify them moving further to the right. And so they're like, the Democrat Party just left me. You hear this? Whenever there's a why I left the left story, or, whenever, we never got around to the next Taku fucking Roseanne thing. Oh, my headphones don't work today. I'm getting Nux Taku. Garby the cat meows. straight, white, cis dude. These people seem like they're repressing their feelings. How do you call that out without sounding like it's blaming queer people? Well, who's suppressing their feelings? Also, Anarchaley, thank you for $2. You know, I'm something of a gender avenger myself. Gender avenger is crazy. I've just had enough. Washington's initiative system, designed in the 1910s, is a check on the... Oh, how the turntables. Oh, how the times change. Designed in the 1910s as a check on the growing power of railroad companies and political machines, allows petitioners to send proposals directly to voters. Man. You remember that? Remember when Washington was like, hey, we can't have all these railroad barons and monopolies. He's playing a kind of chess with it. He's flooding the system in a way no one has tried before. In 2023, Let's Go Washington tried to gather enough signatures for 11 proposals, including police... My dog is trying to play with me. If you see me jolt, that's why. Blah, blah, blah. All 11 tiers. You learn. The following year, using paid signature gatherers... The PAC succeeded in sending 6 initiatives to the letter. You can just fucking buy signatures, dog. Lawmakers adopted 3 measures outright: a ban on any future local or state income tax, expanded authority for police vehicle pursuits, Jesus, and a parent's bill of rights that gave guardians broader access to students' records and curricula on top of, like, again, opt children out of school activities, surveys, or assignments involving questions about sexual attraction, morality, politics, religion, or mental health challenges. So fucking basically anything. You can tie almost anything back to those things. God. Voters rejected the other 3. No shit. Refusing to dismantle state's climate change program, repeal the capital gains tax, and make a now mandatory payroll tax that funds long-term care. You fucking cunt. After the legislature approved the Parents' Bill of Rights, state lawmakers a year later gutted it, in Mr. Haywood's words, by removing or reducing notification requirements. One of the 2 initiatives he's backing this year seeks to restore the original list of parental rights. Second, require any girl who wants to play scholastic sports to prove she was born female. So genital inspections for children is what these fucking freaks want. The agency that regulates interscholastic sports in Washington estimates that 70 of the 75,000 of the 75,000 girls who competed last year, 10 were transgender. 10 of 75,000. 75,000. If y'all haven't gotten, but those few cases included one runner from Spokane who won a state high school 400-meter title 2 years in a row. Mr. Haywood said the proposal is not a radical departure from existing norms. Students who want to play school sports already need a physical exam. I don't think I had a physical for that. Opponents, including some civil rights groups, Planned Parenthood, and the state's largest teachers union, say the physicals currently required focus on cardiovascular and orthopedic health. Yeah, not genital inspections. God. Haywood's proposal would require healthcare professionals to verify a student athlete's biosex based on reproductive anatomy, genetic makeup, or normally endogenously produced testosterone levels. It would potentially force, quote, it would potentially force all girls who want to play a team sport with their friends to undergo an invasive medical exam. Such social issues have not been at the forefront of Washington politics lately. In November, voters in the Seattle and Tacoma area, the most populous and politically influential part of the state, elected a slate of progressive candidates who campaigned on affordability. Haywood's efforts could force progressive organizers and Democratic lawmakers to refocus on an issue that has proved better for Republicans, trans rights, during the upcoming midterm elections. Trump this week encouraged House Republicans to sharpen their messaging on culture war issues. Yeah, I fucking bet. Oh shit, CR, oh my god, thank you, CR for 50 bits. Just have to say, how is letting a trans girl play in sports less traumatizing to the players than adults genital checking children? Yeah, like, because the things that they always like think that, oh, if we enact general inspections and all this stuff, we're gonna catch them, like, and I don't know what the fucking plan is. They seem to imagine all trans people as like Scooby-Doo villains. Right? Like they're gonna fucking unmask somebody and be like, it was Luna Jenkins with the fucking pup tail. Like, no, what is going to happen, more likely than not, first off, a lot of we read last week a account of a mom who her kid was forced out of the game. Like a trans girl who had grown up playing soccer on both kinds of teams, was loved by her teammates, loved by her community, coaches, teachers, all stood up for her, didn't matter in the legislature when the fucking ban passed. It is not... When these things do go through, because we're seeing that now, what happens is that trans people take themselves out of the equation. Because people, they do not want to draw attention to themselves. These are just kids. These are fucking kids who want to be normal kids. In every other way, in their social groups, in their communities, they are. They take part in school sports. They help with fundraisers. They are just living their life the best way they can for their own social growth, for the social growth of those around them. They are engaging in perfectly happy, normal hobbies. And more importantly, for the current slate of people out there right now, like, they're getting exercise. When did people stop wanting kids to go out and get fresh air and fucking exercise? The second they're transgender. Because they cannot be allowed. This all comes back to the overall goal. Do not forget for a moment, the overall goal is to push trans people out of public life. That's it. Like, that's what it is. And so when these things do go through, what ends up happening is trans people will already take themselves out of the pool, right? So now you just have mandatory genital inspections for teenagers. Well, this one seems to specify girls' sports, but on both sides of it. How many do you think opportunities for actual predators is that giving people? Like this is like almost Catholic Church shit of like, to try and address a non-issue, you create more problems. Like you are creating, like the Catholic Church, a breeding ground for wannabe predators. You are giving them the perfect fucking excuse. Like this does nothing functionally to defend women, to defend girls, to defend teenagers, to defend anybody in their rights to have sports or locker rooms or any of that other shit. All it does is make some people ostracized and miserable, harm the social growth of them as a group, both trans kids and non-trans kids, harm the social fabric of a school by creating an in-group and an out-group. You are designating a class of people as inherently lesser than, because one group can do something and the other one cannot. The sole purpose of this is to hurt people. There is no outcome of any of this shit passing that actually helps or defends people. Least of all, fucking more than anything, some dumb fuck Mormon libertarian dick sucker, some hedge fund manager taint licker trying to buy his perfect optimal Joe Rogan version of America. Quote, "There is no such thing as pure grassroots anymore," Mr. Donovan said. "Anybody who wants to get something passed needs a wealthy patron." We just looked at, before this, we just looked at the race between Abdul and Haley Stevens, where more than $60 million from various groups, from various PACs, super PACs, all sorts of shit, has been funneled into Haley Stevens' campaign. Syed has less than 5 million by the Mother Jones article we just looked at. $60 million. 70 million. Fuck. Of course. Like, it is about buying the political world they want. It's all for sale. Well, not it. We are all for sale. Politics, beliefs, the world around us is all for sale. We don't get to be the buyers. The politicians, the hedge fund managers, the people who run the multinational prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, the just constant, incestuous interweaving, the Ouroboros of the state, the economy, mega corporations, shit like Vanguard and BlackRock. All of these motherfuckers, no matter what they say, they're chummy behind closed doors. They go to each other's parties. They go to each other's fucking barbecues. Doesn't matter if they have a D or an R next to their name. If you want to know why it is so fucking lopsided between Syed and Stevens, between $60 million and $5 million, $70 million and $5 million. It's because the people with the money who want to control that shit, you can tell when they choose their candidate. And you can tell when they're scared, have a voice. What do you mean sermonize? Grinner, we're really heading towards Shadowrun minus the magic and dragons. So it just sucks. It just sucks. Oh. We have Cyberpunk in our future, but no cool gadgets. I mean, I don't know. We have some cool gadgets. I've been really getting on board with, like, because I've been doing my PS2 thing and my Vita thing, and I've just been really kind of loving physical media lately. And I don't know. I see a future where, especially with the shit we're doing, with like streaming games and taking away physical copies, is I think there's going to be a resurgence in physical media very soon. That, and also talking about not just physical media, but like the fact that AI is seeping into everything. Oh, thank you, Sancta George. Sorry, chat is going so fucking fast. I'm trying to. There was one I just. Second, tuning into the stream, neurodivergent. My issues make it hard to leave the house, so I use the internet to learn about the world. You're smart, witty, and do a service by providing your voice and perspective about your community against the forces that wish it harm. Stay safe. Love from Australia. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. No video, just your beautiful mind. Magar, thank you for $5. It's like Cyberpunk, but no robot arms, and all the brain chip does is catch on fire and make you eat your fingers. I got a really funny, like, I got harassed. I got fucking a comment section full of Elon Musk dorks. I had a spicy meatball of a tweet that broke out. Hey, look. It breaks outside your circle sometimes. It happens. I'm chill with that. But I did get a kick out of reading. I muted it very quickly. But I got a kick out of reading all the, like, Elon bots and dorks who are, like, I was basically saying that, like, Elon Musk and people like him are the opposite of humanity's survival, right? And a bunch of people were basically like, well, I guess if you want to kill the genius who is giving the world brain chips and rockets, there was one dude who was like, we're leaving all you arslers behind and going to the moon or going to Mars or some shit. And my favorite interaction was somebody being like, he's not taking you to Mars, bro. And then being like, you're going to get left behind too. And the person just responded being like, you're not, Elon Musk is not taking you to Mars. I have a hard time telling who's when it comes to those kind of like maybe English second language accounts, when it comes to like, if it doesn't have a face, I assume it's a bot basically. But also, man, I look at people who just like foam at the mouth about Elon Musk being just like this visionary, brilliant genius. And I think to myself, oh, okay, no, there's no way. It's not a real person. But then I think to myself and I'm like, chat, we've seen some dumb motherfuckers on here. Speaking of which, oh, damn it. I want to watch the video of it. I'm gonna have to figure out what the fucking deal is with the video, the headset issue, because so the thing I was gonna talk about with Tucker's Demons is, oh, let me finish talking about this first. So Washington, no hate in Washington State. So there are multiple bills. It's not just that one. It also includes. Do I not? Did I not bring up? Yeah, bar trans athletes. We've talked about that. HB 001. Here we go. Or is this the same one? Oh, this is the Parents' Bill of Rights. Okay. Then yeah. So this is if you live in Washington State, by the way, please go to this website when you get a sec. How? I haven't even, oh. Dog. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. Worsens mental health, greater risk of abuse, mental health issues, even homelessness by forcing school counselors and teachers to knowingly put kids in danger. So if you are in Washington State, these are measures you need to be watching for on the ballot this year. The midterms are going to be big. I expect people to be fucking voting for things, especially in local elections and state elections, that will affect you and people you know. Okay? Hey, what are you doing? What do you got? Oh, you just have your ball. Washington school counselors, school nurses, and pediatricians say I-001 restricts student access to help for challenges like depression, sexual assault, domestic violence, bullying, and anxiety. Restoring the Parents' Bill of Rights. Christ. Blow High Blast, thank you very much for Tier 1 for 8 montharinos. It is restoring the Parents' Bill of Rights. That's so fucking funny. He was literally butthurt about that. I can't believe they changed my Parents' Bill of Rights. Jake GB, thank you for $10. We do live in a golden age of space travel, as the Artemis program has shown, but it isn't because of Elon. Elon is just a marketing guy and a patent thief. Advancements happen in spite of him. Try fucking telling that to his friends. They think he invents robots. They think he's like literally Tony Stark. Nehemia, thank you very much for $5. I have a feeling anyone named Tucker always has demons telling them to become Patrick Bateman like the Green Goblin mask. I think specifically that Tucker. Parents are the primary stakeholders in their children's... The people, be it enacted by the people of the state of Washington. The people find that parents are the primary stakeholders in their children's upbringing. Parental involvement is a significant factor in increasing student achievement. Access to student info encourages greater parental involvement. I don't fucking think so, dog. To inspect their child's public school records in accordance, receive a child within 10 days, blah, blah, blah. Child's records. to examine the textbook, curriculum, and supplemental material used in their child's classroom. This is just shit. What are you fucking talking about? Also, yeah, using stakeholders is such a slip of how you see children. Academic records. Like, this is all shit that any parent should already be involved with and understanding. What they really want to get at is they don't want kids having pronouns. They don't want kids being able to live their life independently away from whatever ideology their parents have. To receive notification when any medical service, financial impact. Yeah, dude. What the fuck do you mean? School has arranged directly or indirectly for medical treatment. Are they medical devices such as crushes? To receive immediate notification if criminal action is deemed to have been committed against it. In what world are these things not actually law? Law enforcement personnel question their child. Yeah, no shit. Okay, well, that is not their right. To receive immediate notification if their child is taken or removed without parental permission, including to stay at a shelter or host home. All right, give me a second. I'm going to give lady some food because she needs some food. She said, "Oh, food, oh, food." Give me 1 second. Oh, quick, you got food. Ivan Against Cuisine. Speaking of Deus Ex, there's a channel on YouTube who's a fan of the game, but also a Musk Dick writer. Who did I see recently that I was like, oh, you don't get Deus Ex? Because they had a fucking a Deus Ex profile picture, and they were arguing. Oh, no, yeah, I think it was on the Musk thing. They were arguing in favor of, like, basically just the fucking panopticon oligarchy AI data surveillance state that we're fucking getting. Yeah, no, Evil Kitty 13, preschool teacher, and we're mandated reporters. We report signs of abuse. So that is the other thing when the organization is talking about how these bills will prevent kids from getting help, will end up, again, doing more harm to people who are already at risk. That's what they're talking about. It is the kind of shit. All right. For example, CPS is already an organization that has an incredibly shoddy record with actually helping kids. We have seen this with the Anderson kids. Multiple times CPS has been called. They are still living in an abusive household. After 4 children have publicly come forward and made and corroborated allegations against their parents, they still have, I think, 8 kids in their household. 8 kids. It is already a ridiculous high standard to meet to intervene in a parent abusing their kid. There are so many people who have to stand by and watch it just fucking happen. And it's because of legalism like fucking this. It's because of, well, it's my right and it ain't your kid. All this shit that just makes it easier. It doesn't protect kids. It makes it easier for abusers to get away with it. Because they literally believe people who would advocate for this are the kind of parents who would say, well, they're my kid. It's my right. It's not. Pisses me off. Kiwi TP, they view kids as property. They do. Does he even have kids? I don't know. Maybe. Will not discriminate against their child based on their religious beliefs. Written notice and opt out the child of any surveys, assignments. Here we go. To receive written notice and option to opt their child out of any surveys, assignments, questionnaires, role-playing activities, recordings, or other student engagements that include questions about any of the following. See, it should stop at student engagements. If they want to. Because, and the tricky language here is also like recordings of their child. There are a lot of kids when we had, we would have like a news crew or something come to the school, and we would have to sign like a release form for that. We have to go get our parents to sign this, say, hey, can I be on camera if I'm in the fucking background or whatever. But stuffing that in here is a way to make this seem more innocuous. Like, oh, well, you just no. You make a different fucking question for that. Recordings of their kid is completely different from them having to have assignments that deal with like the civil rights movement. Because again, this is not all about queerness. A lot of it is about pushing out queerness, but like we were talking about at the beginning, these struggles are interconnected in very key ways. Social justice, the banner of wokeism, progressivism, what the fuck ever you want to call it. A lot of stuff fits under there, and they want to put even more. If they want to tell you, if somebody wants to say, for example, not have their kid learn about gay people, for whatever reason, what is to stop that parent from then using these same statutes to say, you know what, in this, the child's family belief, morality, religion, or political affiliations, what if somebody is I don't know, the kind of person who would say that the civil rights movement was a mistake, kind of person who would ask questions about being related or not related to gang violence. Let's say somebody like that had a kid in school and they said, you know what, I think the civil rights movement was a mistake. So little Timmy isn't going to learn about Martin Luther King. It's just a way to make sure that kids do not learn enough about the world around them to grow up with empathy. Bummer. Kilotonics, thank you for giving a tier 1 subby to Nova Sky Blessed. Fuse does stuff. The current Republican Party turned me into an anti-theist. I really try to be as charitable as possible to religion. And I do. I really try. If people want to be Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Hindu, whatever, as long as you are not intruding upon other people's rights and sovereignty, I genuinely do not give a fuck. 99% of the time. If you are not sacrificing babies on an altar, if you are not violating people's, personal sovereignty, personal space, or hurting people or forming organizations based on abuse, I don't care. I genuinely do not. But it is so hard to keep that line, especially against like evangelical Christians, when they have been the most uniformly evil contingent of people trying to affect everybody else's life in America. Anna Kaylee, thank you for $5. Crazy how they want fetal personhood but want to take all autonomy from children. Makes you think, yeah, makes you think. Grinner, also religious here, tend to side with atheists more than theists. I think a lot of even established scholars who might be religious do. Nehemiah, I'm religious. This shit is BS. Okay. To see attractions, family, any mental health or psychological problems of the child or family member, or a family member. Is that asking, hey, Does your dad beat you? And they're like, well, you can't say that. All surveys, analyses, and evaluations subject to areas covered by the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment of the Family Educational Rights Privacy Act. Topics associated with sexual activity received from the public school calendar. Be notified in writing as feasible of any revisions. Like, they make it so much bigger of a thing than it needs to be. Topics associated with sexual activity. Look, in high school health class, we had 1 week. 1 week of sex ed. Everybody was so excited for it. It was fucking nothing. It sucked. It was as boring as the rest of the fucking class. The first day was the most fun part because everybody's like, hey, you know what we're doing today? Hey, sex ed, let's go. Come on. And then it was just looking at people's like STD buttholes for a week. It's nothing. Right? The most you get out of it, the benefit of it is that some kids understand how to protect themselves, how to go about sexual activity without getting STDs, without spreading anything, without getting people pregnant, without ruining their life. But it is not this, they are putting, by mandating this shit, they're putting a month-long, celebration ahead of it. They're being like, oh, we gotta know 30 days in advance. Like it's a fucking countdown clock. Hollywood Coat. Sex ed in my state was STD horror stories followed by Just Save It. That's kind of what mine was too. And I didn't even get that crazy of the abstinence training, but abstinence is definitely a fucking thing. And guess what? Abstinence training, the abstinence only shit that Christians love to do, does not fucking work. It just doesn't. Every kid who I knew in high school who came into high school freshman year being like, oh no, sorry, I don't drink coffee, I'm Mormon. Believing that shit. By the end of high school, they were slamming puss or bus. I don't know. I know that people were getting busy, and word would get around, and people would be like, "Wait, aren't they Mormon? Aren't they what? Do it? What? Oh yeah, I guess." Yeah. You want to know why? Because kids are going to be kids. And the best thing you can do to set a child up for success is to prepare them for the harsh realities of the world, no matter what that looks like. People like this want to say that I want kids to live by their mistakes, and if they have a problem, then they got to fix it. Until your fucking kid brings home somebody who's 7 months pregnant. And suddenly their entire life is derailed. Until your kid gets an uncurable disease from fooling around at a party. And their entire life is derailed. It is so frustrating. The purity culture. Again, these systems of control don't help anybody. Do you think at the end of the day they really make even the parents feel better? Fuck no. Because the parents were teenagers once too. God. Oh, God. Brutus Magnuson, in Saudi Arabia, reparative surgery to make vaginas look virginal has been growing in popularity. I'm not gonna Fed post. Jake GB, thank you for $2. They also don't want them to know MLK was a socialist. Very true. Daddy Senna, thank you for following. Oh. You don't like my music. Abstinence is so much easier when people don't want to fuck you. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Some call me Aku. Thank you for $5. I had some homeschooled friends growing up. Their parents decided to send them to public high school, and they were doing drugs within a week. I wasn't homeschooled, but I went to a church school until middle school. I think middle school. And yeah. I wasn't doing drugs within a week in fucking middle school by any stretch, but it is a culture shock for sure of being like, oh damn, like this is different shit. This hits different. Alrighty. Academic performance, including whether student learning plan. Like, and half of this stuff is stuff that, like, if you want to be informed of your child's academic performance, I've never met a teacher who would not want to talk about a kid's academic performance. Usually it's the opposite. Usually parents can't be fucked or bothered to come in and actually show an active interest in their child's life and performance. As usual. Will force students to hand over sensitive information. Legal analysis show this poorly written, and I look, as somebody who likes throwing a little dirt, I like that the extra touch of them saying it's poorly written. That's magnifique for me. Could allow parents under criminal investigation or who have been charged with raping, assaulting, or otherwise harming their own child to access sensitive information, including private social work and school counseling records, putting kids at greater risk. Washington school counselors, nurses, and pediatricians say I-001 will worsen the teen mental health crisis. Youth depression is at record highs. More than half of teenagers experience anxiety or depression, and 1 in 10 Washington State students say they have no one to turn to when feeling depressed. Why is there not, again, putting all this shit on the kids? For somebody who's apparently a big libertarian, want to talk about personal responsibility, why are there not more efforts garnered at getting parents more active in the lives of the people they bring into the fucking world? Why is there not more? I was thinking about this the other day. I was at where the hell was I? I might have been in LA. I recently saw, I don't remember where it was, but it struck me as so odd. Because I saw, do you remember like 20 years ago? Because it got me thinking about a bunch of shit. You remember 20 years ago or so where there were these like reading campaigns aimed at kids? Where it would be, you know, a bunch of money put into like, here's fucking, you know, a celebrity. Like, here's Leo DiCaprio reading a book, you know, and it would just be like a poster that just said read. And I was thinking like, we don't really have, we need that more than ever. But we don't really have that anymore, right? Like, when was the last time you saw one of those posters that is like, hey, you should read. It's good to read. Reading is good. Crack open a fucking book. Take a look. We don't really get that kind of effort put towards kids and getting them involved and nurturing them mentally, physically. This led me to think about, I was like, what? We don't really have, because I remember thinking a couple years back, somebody was talking about they're going to bring back was that Pizza Hut, the Book It program, which was something I did as a kid. I remember, and by the way, I was a fucking voracious reader. Voracious. I would read, like, cruise through books. And so like I got a couple free pizzas in my day. And it's not about the fucking pizza. It's about the fact that I read a bunch of books. I still remember some of those. And things like that do encourage parental involvement. Like your parent has to be the one to help sign off on that stuff, to make sure that the teacher signs off on it and all that shit. Has to be the one to take you to Pizza Hut. And my mom got me excited for that shit. Like, my mom was hyping me up to read more. Damn a pizza. Fuck a pizza. I could give a fuck about a pizza. My parent was taking an active interest in the thing I was doing and was approving of it. And it was something, it was reading. If you really want to get down to like, well, fucking parents, common sense protections. 1 in 10 Washington State students say they have no one to turn to when feeling depressed. Half of teenagers experience anxiety. And these motherfuckers cannot focus on anything but trying to limit them more, trying to ostracize them more, trying to isolate them more. Why can't any of them, and maybe we do need genuine money. Well, God knows the billionaires and the hedge fund managers aren't interested in actually helping create a more fair, equal, understanding, nurturing society for the kids that they want us to have to avoid replacement, whatever, demographic change or whatever the fuck. Why is nobody putting forward legislation to do that kind of book program for parents? To advertise when parents are fucking scrolling pages, being like, hey, take the time to play with your kid. They'll remember it. Like that's what you need to say. I guarantee any parent, if you put an ad of some dad putting down his phone, putting down a video game, putting down something work that's distracting him, and have a 20-second video of him going over and playing with blocks. And then you know what you cut to? You cut to 30 years later and them going through old boxes and finding the blocks, and the old man now, dad going, oh, I don't remember these, and the kid remembering. That, any parent would be like, fuck. Damn. Because here and now is gone by the time you look. And the kids who need their minds nurtured will be grown up before any of us are able to blink. That's what happened with my generation. That's what happened with Gen Z. It's going to happen with Gen Alpha. And we are making no effort through legislation, through funding, through outreach programs in our communities to ensure that these kids have a way to grow up in this world a little less poisoned. Because we've ensured that there's effectively no fucking way that they are going to be unscathed by the nightmare phantasmagoria we've created of AI, pornography, constant images of war and death on the timeline. There is no way that kids grow up in this day and age, homeschooled or not, and emerge as healthy as they possibly can be. But it doesn't help that nobody is trying. Least of all, many, many, many parents. My cat is. I know y'all can hear my cat too. She starts meowing, and at a certain point, she starts looking around the room where she's not even looking at me. She's just going, meow, meow, meow. She looked at me for that one. She was like, oh, you fucking making fun of me? My cat says, oh, you got jokes. Jake GB, thank you for $2. Read that 19% of Americans can't read. It is was it somebody? There was a influencer. Hey, baby. Oh, wait, no. Koa cannot. All right, give me 1 second. Yeah, I did see the books being bought and fucking scalped and scanned. Ugh. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to go feed my cat really quick. Grandma telling stories. Oh, she won't fucking stop telling stories. Yeah, Grandmas. Are you good? Are you good, baby? you better not be going to sleep. What are you doing? So yes, to put a little end stone on this, please, if you are in Washington State, vote no on these things. Vote no. I wasn't able to make it to a recent meeting, the city council meeting, because I was busy. But they had their landlords and representatives lined up to speak on a measure that would have limited them. The people who these things benefit, they pay attention. They pay attention to how they can game the system to make the world easier and better for them. And they do not care that often it makes the world worse for everybody else. Or at the very least, a little bit harder. You need to be paying attention to. Well, now I don't know what else to really talk about. Oh yeah, oil prices rise. We have, if you were not aware, we have no plan when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Just straight up, no plan. I believe Trump said sometime on social that we are going to bomb the fuck out of Iran. The IRGC said it hit the tankers as they tried to transit Hormuz under U.S. military escort. More tankers also came under attack in the Black Sea as Ukraine targets Russian energy infrastructure. Jesus Christ. 84.67 per barrel. Chevron CEO Mike Wirth told CNBC on Friday the threat to oil supplies in the region has expanded beyond Hormuz. Global inventories, meanwhile, are falling. The Houthi allies in Yemen declared a maritime embargo against Saudi Arabia last week and have attacked tankers in the Red Sea. A drone attack damaged 2 liquefied natural gas ships at Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta this week. Nobody has claimed responsibility. Exxon and Chevron's profits surged in the second quarter. Christ. Evil Kitty, thank you very much for $2. Erica Kirk came to Kirkland, Washington. I mean, it's her ancestral home. Can you really blame her? I guess. Oh, damn it. That would have been Charlie Kirk. Fuck. All right. I'm going to go steal headphones. I'm going to see if I can try and make headphones work if it's wired. I kind of doubt it, but I want to see. We'll Oh, you know what? Actually, this is going to be dumb, but maybe it'll work. All right, give me a second. Okay, is this how terrible is this, everybody? How bad is this to listen to? Feedback? Do we got feedback? Sounds good? Okay. All right. Well, let us sound too low. Sounds good? Okay, cool, cool, cool. 7.78 out of 10. I can, you know what? I'll take it because I really wanted to see this next bit. So, Jeremy Boring has, if you're a fan of Chapo Trap House, you're going to love Rod Dreher talking to Jeremy Boring about Tucker Carlson and demon exorcism. Now, Jeremy, I didn't realize, Jeremy Boring Show has 8,000 Twitter followers. Rough, buddy. And when you go and look at Jeremy D. Boring, host of the Jeremy Boring Show, is all he really has to his name after leaving the Daily Wire. I guess this is what he has been. Yeah, no, Jeremy's got some motion. He's got some motion. He's doing the podcast thing. He's trying to do the Joe Rogan thing, which is like, I don't know, man. It's not a becoming look. And I don't often really hammer on people for being like hateful little dorks. But I have been overjoyed to see the light, as you can see here in this profile picture, the light slowly go out of his eyes. Because few people were as loud and as braggadocious about their just vile hatred for people, for trans people, for queer people, for black people, for Palestinians, than Jeremy Boring. He made the movie Lady Ballers. He oversaw Matt Walsh's What is a Woman and Am I Racist? These are things he did the fucking she-her chocolate bullshit. Jeremy's Razors. He's also a fucking huckster and dropship artist swindler. So a lot of people I would try and give a little bit of grace to and be like, you know what? Maybe they can move on to something else in their life. Maybe they can do something better for society. I have no such hopes for Jeremy. And in fact, I will just I'm gonna just munch up all of the bad times he's having. But let us then go, because I wanted to hear this and see if I need to watch the whole thing. Did he do the They Them movie? No, that was I don't think that was a bigot. That was just a bad movie. They Them, the one with Kevin Bacon. Yeah, that was just terrible. Oh God. That's a bummer because I actually like the cast for it was really solid. Jake GB, thank you for $5. Since junior high, I loved reading scientific studies, and the amount of times I felt more informed than the 45th POTUS was crazy. I always knew he was lying. That'll fucking do it. Rod Dreher, the very same. The very same. Oh, Versus, I think you're right. I think it was a Peacock original. God. What a weird thing to have as your Peacock original.
Me about it right after it happened.
All right, here we
this
go.
was like a year when Tucker came.
By the way, before we Kiwi TP, it's a long story, but my mic isn't working. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm using the headset mic for reacting to this stuff. I was listening to some old QAA podcasts in the background while I was writing this morning, And they got to a point where Roger Stone was talking about, a demonic portal opened over Biden's White House. And people forget to kind of go back and revisit the conversation we were having earlier about just radical religion psychos. So many people like that have genuine sway, or at the very least are connected to people who have motion in the conservative movement. It is bonkers the amount of people who believe, like, are on Alex Jones's level of insane, and people just haven't, like, kept tabs on it. Roger Stone is the guy that's friends with Alex Jones. What? Hey, Johnny Farrell, what is Alex Jones up to, by the way? Because I know he turned on Trump. The most I've seen of Alex Jones lately has been fucking that dipshit Sneeko trying to make that kafir bullshit into a fucking meme. God, pack it the fuck up, you hack. Calls for immediate Trump impeachment. Hell yeah, dude. Alex Jones calling for impeachment. Dramatic about face. Congress go for the war powers. They've tried 3 times, supposed to authorize a war. Make what a meme? All right, so there was a thing a little while ago. Where Alex Jones, it was a fucking meme. People clipped it out of context, but I believe the point he was trying to make is that people try and tie all conspiracies back to Jews too much, and Alex was getting tired of it because he, as much as he does buy into and support white nationalist narratives, for whatever reason, he draws the line at being openly anti-Semitic. And so there was this meme that went around of Alex Jones going, Jew, 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 Jew. And because Sneeko barely has any sentience to begin with, the just barely sentient slime that he is has been trying desperately, cloyingly to make that, like, redo Alex Jones's meme, which was organic. It wasn't manufactured, and has been instead doing it with kafir, because I don't fucking know. Trump is preparing for a boots-on-the-ground invasion of Iran. They want us in total war so they can censor and take our freedoms, nationalize everything, and push us aside with AI. Total liability, immunity, and protection. This is a disaster. We are facing tyranny, but the public's awakening. Good God, dude. It's the same shit. He just, like, pivoted a little bit to include Trump in it. Like, this is the same shit he was talking about a decade, 2 decades ago. Even down to the same of, like, nope, we're totally gonna win because the public is supporting me, and that's why you should come and buy our buckets of food at Dr. Jones Natural. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Nehemiah, you're right. He's perfectly fine with being anti-Semitic. He just says globalist. Yeah, he buys. So the thing is, and I know Alex Jones knows that, but he still fucking pays lip service to the idea of, like, well, I don't mean all Jewish people, obviously. But you're absolutely right. An anti-Semite could go on Alex Jones's show and give the exact same screed as a fucking just outright white supremacist neo-Nazi. And if they replace every instance of the word Jewish with globalist, Alex Jones will be like, yeah, that's pretty true. We've got to come together and transcend left and right, and we have to say no to an expanded war that will definitely destroy the economy and kill a bunch of our troops. Preparing a massive ground invasion. It's all confirmed. This is all going down right now. So if it doesn't go down, what's the scoop, Alex? What's the scoop? This is not what we voted for. Dog, you like just a couple. Oh fuck, he's getting. Hold on.
How to stop Trump. And we have to have
Okay.
Congress go for the war powers. They've 3 times tried to vote war powers.
I think it's the lighting fucking with him a little bit, but my man is purple. He is Thanos colored. He ate the wrong candy in Willy Wonka's factory. Look at this guy.
Supposed to authorize a war. This is a war. They're getting the draft ready. If this isn't a war, nothing's a war. I mean, this is absolutely out of control.
I'm not gonna be able to keep doing his voice much longer. He keeps going like more guttural. Like it just sounds like a fucking like gears grinding against each other now.
And so I'm calling for it right now. 25th Amendment, impeachment, whatever needs to happen to get this front and center, to get control of our country. It's impeachable.
No, I think he is following in the path of people like Nick Fuentes. I think he has held on far too long to this. It's one thing I will say is that Nick's proximity away from mainstream conservatism, or the arm's distance a lot of people keep people like Nick Fuentes at, allows him to kind of maneuver outside of this kind of shit. So Nick was on the fuck Trump bandwagon basically as early as he could get on. And whether that was because he saw that the incoming administration would be a fucking disaster, which is like, yeah, no shit, or probably more accurately the inverse of somebody like Alex, he just didn't have as much to lose by turning against Trump so early, especially with all the Israel support that Trump gave. So, like, Alex has hung on for far too long. Even if the weird Venn diagram overlap of MAGA supporter is turning against Trump, this kind, like, I can't imagine seeing Alex Jones, somebody who has been in his fucking corner for so long, who has said, like, humanity depends on Trump and all this shit. Like, how do you not watch somebody fucking change on a dime like this and not get wary of them as a person? I don't know.
That the president supported the NDAA. I agree with Tucker Carlson that all of the people that voted for this, the merges with the foreign military, it actually says it in Section 219 clear.
Yeah, okay. So we wanted to check in on how Alex is doing. Let's say bad. I'm gonna pop this on real quick, and I'm gonna go grab some food real quick because I'm gonna chow down on something while we're watching Jeremy Boring and Tucker. But iDubbbz. So Ethan fucking Klein, y'all. Somebody I don't talk about a lot. Isaiah Wilson. Alex Jones sounds like a bike chain that's too tight and unlubed in rainy season. That is so accurate. That hurts. That is so accurate. For those who don't know, Ethan Klein said, he commented, I think it was in this thread. Yeah. YouTube creator iDubbbz reveals Ethan Klein lied about dropping his lawsuit against him and has now received an upcoming court date. Ethan previously confirmed he would drop the lawsuit after receiving significant backlash and an apology. Turns out he lied and wanted iDubbbz to make an apology video for nothing. Here is a comment where he says, I appreciate the thoughtful apology. It means a lot. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely. And here we have, I believe this came out today.
I'm going to try to be as candid about this as possible. I have my points written down in front of me. So here is the news. Here's the important news. Number 1, Ethan Klein has not dropped the lawsuit. Number 2, we've been actively dealing with it for the past couple of months. Number 3, I'm bringing it up now because now we have court dates, basically. And so, you know, it's becoming a lot more real. I'm not particularly surprised, but I am disappointed. There really isn't much else I can say about the matter right now because, you know, it's legal. It's legal. So, yeah, we're going to keep pushing on. That doesn't change anything here. For the rest of the stream, I am going to be doing what we normally do. So, yeah, that is it. I'm not going to be answering any questions in chat related to it. But there you go. I didn't even make you guys wait too long. Congratulations.
Right as I'm finishing a bite. Good job. What's Ethan suing for? I believe defamation. Let me look up. All right, Penguin 0. Give it to me, Charlie.
I just heard about the H3 versus iDubbbz defamation lawsuit and spent the last...
Mirror Extra, I think for $5. Alex Jones keeps getting more pathetic. I swear he's got one more L away from writing his rants on bathroom stalls. I think Alex Jones, honestly, I think Alex is going to be around forever. Like, I think he is just going to haunt the dying embers of America's empire. And I think he's just going to keep hopping around to different perspectives based on what benefits him. I think he is just going to continue being an older and older crank and huckster. He's been doing this, well, for as long as that fucking colloidal silver doesn't make his heart go out. Like, which I think is the other thing is that, like, I actually don't think he's going to reach old age. Like, I don't see him getting past, like, 70, honestly.
3 or so hours learning about it and getting into the nitty gritty, figuring out all the bits and pieces and getting all the morsels of information I could find to really put the nipple clamps on it and figure out what all the hoopla is. And it is a real thing. The pugilistic legal paperwork has been filed against iDubbbz, so now they're gonna duke it out, not with knuckle sandwiches, but with extremely expensive litigation. Offer it before I even get into the spaghetti and meatballs of the actual story here. There is just something that pets my peeves. There is something that grinds my gears, greases my cheeks so much I can't resist yapping about it briefly. When I was in the trenches digging around for information about what all of this is about, I kept seeing people say that I refuse to cover these kind of things for a variety of different reasons. I'm ignoring it, this and that. I don't know how many more times I need to say this. I am just really not online that much these days. The only streams I watch are like the Summer Games Fest and like events like that, but I don't watch streams. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, and I don't go on Twitter, like, at all. I still have Twitter because I send and reply to DMs through there sometimes for like events, like Tyler won's League of Legends tournament. I heard from him on Twitter DM, so I have it for reasons like that. But I don't, like, doom scroll Twitter and see a bunch of things anymore. Look at the last tweet I made. So, like, I don't see a lot of these things that are going on anymore. But for some reason, everyone jumps to, oh, he must be ignoring it. He's got to be ignoring it. We can really tell a lot about this guy from the things he refuses to cover. I just don't see them. The things I do hear about come from my friends sending them to me, or when I stream chat telling me about them, putting them on my radar. But if neither of those two avenues show it to me or tell me about it, I just never hear about it. And I'm not even a fucking streamer anymore, not full time. I'm like a semi-retired streamer. I stream sometimes. I mean, sometimes I'll stream like 3-4 days in a row. But basically what I do now is I just play like old school games, like a lot of retro games or a lot of Steam cum dumpster games, like actual trash. So like I'm not even really a streamer, so I don't even see a lot of that either. So like it's not me avoiding certain things for a nefarious reason. I just literally don't ever hear about it, so I never learn about it.
I'm gonna say this is already an incredibly kind of annoying video. Does he get to? I'm gonna skip. No, this is the most replayed, so let's get there.
I don't agree with what's being said in this comment here, but I'm putting it on screen because I think it should be addressed because it's a big, bold accusation that's very...
Yeah, also, so that's a really good question. I believe this is iDubbbz. that's a good question. Hey, why hasn't Ethan, of all the shit Ethan will come down on? Ethan has all the money in the world to go after fucking Frogan or some shit. But Destiny saying he is a pedophile who has molested his own children? Sex Pestiny comes at you like that and you've got no smoke for him? Okay.
Very fucked up.
It is very fucked up. And it's despicable that he would think it's a good idea to post that there while knowingly aware that it's not true. So the message isn't Ian's, this comes from Destiny, and he found this screenshot and he kept it on screen for a very long time. And he said he didn't agree with it, but thinks it needs to be addressed because it's so fucked up. It is a terrible stream. Just giving it to you real blunt, real raw. It is no good. And I'm no stranger to getting shit talked by iDubbbz. He has said some very nasty, very untrue things about me on his broadcast as well. But what is being reported in regards to this stream isn't exactly telling the whole story. Now, when I first heard of this lawsuit, I was reading a bunch about it, but I wanted more information, like, directly associated with it to make sure I wasn't getting, like, fraudulent or misleading shit fed to me. So I reached out to someone whom I know is on the H3 team, and Ethan did hear about that, so he did talk directly about me on his show and challenge me on a few things, and I did eventually get to talk directly with Ethan, and I shared my full perspective on things and the problems I had around it and my concerns, and got his perspective on things to see if there's any misunderstandings and such. Ultimately, I don't think we fully saw eye to eye on this, which, you know, that's going to happen. I fully understand that this is a very emotionally charged subject for him after everything him and his family went through with Snarkers in particular. I know that the CPS and the Human Skulls incident are like a legitimately traumatized.
Hey, knock it off. No, you. Here, look. Ooh, what's that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just listening to people talk about drama and shit turns me off of drama. As far as I'm concerned, it's always gonna be fuck Ethan Klein. And if look, at this point, because that was a month ago, at this point, if you cannot bring yourself to say that after all the shit he's done, I'm still using the other mic. Like what will it get you? What does it take to fucking get there? All right, so that's the end of iDubbbz shit. We've covered some news. We've covered some hard shit. Now I would like to cover some goofballs, some goof 'em ups, and I'm hoping that this is gonna sate my appetite, so to speak.
Came out and told the world that he had been attacked by demons. People laughed at him. I didn't, because
No, I didn't either.
he had told me about it.
Oh yeah, that's so good. That's the good shit. Grown ass men talking about fucking grown ass men in their tacky fucking suits talking about how demons are definitely real and they are afraid of ghosts. Fucking zoinks, man. Let's go.
Right after it happened. And this was like a year or so before he told the world. He texted me because he knew I was a serious Christian, being Orthodox. I do have a demonology.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, that if this really happened to you, you need to talk to an exorcist. And I connected him with an exorcist I know. And the exorcist.
The idea of being into, like, did he say I have a demonology? What the fuck does that mean? Like a book? Like a course, a guide? Also, the idea of being like, hey, if you need, I know a guy. If you need an exorcist, I know a guy, okay? My cousin Tone, okay? His nephew, Clarice, does a great exorcism. You won't be able to get the smell of patchouli out for a little while. It'll stick in the walls. But my sister's twice removed ex-husband, Alphonse, yeah, he had to get one of the exorcism things, and the guy gave him a great rate. You're gonna love it, kid. Like, what the fuck? The idea of being like, I know an exorcist? You can't drop that in the middle of a conversation like it's a normal thing to say. That's like saying, I know a leprechaun. That's like saying, hey, do you want to take a ride on my unicorn? And you expect it to be fucking... Oh.
Also brought in a second exorcist to work with him.
I can't. I fucking... You mean to tell me you're putting together... No, literally, Badoka, he's like, I know a guy who knows a guy. You fucking... You mean to tell me you're putting together a team? You mean to tell me Tucker Carlson's demons necessitated a montage of exorcists? Hell yeah, dude.
But Tucker decided he didn't want to do that. He said, I'm too Protestant for that. This seems like witchcraft to me. That's his actual word. I went back, I still have the text saved. I went back to read them recently. Tucker said, exorcism seems like witchcraft. I'm like, wait, you think you were attacked by a demon, but a Catholic or an Orthodox exorcist coming as witchcraft. Anyway, so he refused that sort of help. He told me it'd be fine, just him and the Bible. I even offered to get a Protestant deliverance pastor for him. That wasn't good enough for him. Well, he gets fired from Fox a couple of months later in the Dominion settlement. And then that fall, he launches his own network and goes really dark really fast with that Daryl Cooper who says Churchill is a real villain in World War II. And you've seen as well as I have, it got darker and darker and darker. And then he gets Fuentes on. And that's when I finally felt like I had to speak out and say something. I just said, this was a big mistake. It's something I wrote. And you shouldn't do this. We ought to keep the firewall there. And Tucker texted me, ending our friendship. That's that. Well, but I've thought about that demonic attack, which I believe was real since then. In November, after he had broke with me and all that, I was sitting in Budapest on my couch.
Do we think the devil? Oh, that's so fucking funny. Is Rod Dreher going to say the devil made Tucker invite Nick Fuentes on? Nova Skyblessed, have you heard Tucker's laugh lately? That's total demon possession. Wait, it's always like that? Oh, his... that bullshit? That fucking... When he makes, like, a knock-knock joke and he almost falls out of his chair because he's doing his Joker laugh? Ugh.
Trying to put off going to bed. I looked at YouTube. The algorithm served up a clip from a recent Tucker broadcast in which Tucker's sitting in his main studio talking with a guy who looks like a hunter, a local hunter. And Tucker starts off talking about the things that are the spooky things in the woods behind his house. And
Maxis Animates, thank you for 777. You mean to tell us you know a leprechaun? Well, give us the deets.
Maine. And he goes on to say that when I go back there hunting, I feel evil spirits in a certain part of the place. He said, local people have told me, yeah, don't go back there. That's bad news. Tucker says on the clip, you can find it on YouTube, He says, I even found a 1929 Field and Stream magazine article talking about the spooky haunted woods. But, said Tucker, the hunting is great back there, so I go. I immediately thought of a film I had seen called The Witch.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Like, I cannot. Sometimes it goes by passively, right? Yeah, Jonathan, man, we did cover that already. How fucking stupid the people who have control of the country genuinely are. Like, sometimes it goes, like, we all just kind of accept it. You know, we see Trump said some dumb bullshit today, and fucking, what are you gonna do? I mean, there are things we can do, but not I'm just saying, ballot box isn't the only way to fix problem. Take from that what you will. But until the problems get solved, we are left saddled with these just stultifyingly stupid ignoramuses. We are watching, because I need to, let me put it in more embellished terms. What we are watching is two grown-ass men sitting in a room, afeared of ghosts and ghoulies and goblins, now fucking talking about how movies are going to remind them of real life. These people straight up do not live in reality. They don't. Nothing about this is based in reality of any kind. Not their analysis, not their concerns, not their fears, not their anecdotes. These motherfuckers they're talking Scooby-Doo shit. They're talking about ghouls. They sound like fucking Charlie and It's Always Sunny. What was that? Let me see. What's that one fucking... Here we go.
I just feel Charlie, like we're gonna get you back on the dating scene, bro. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's actually why we're here. We want to put your profile on Match.com.
I don't see why. I got the waitress, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
But we thought maybe you could meet somebody new.
Yeah, someone you like even more than the waitress.
Well, I don't see how that's possible, but I tell you what. Let me pop a quick H on this box. This way we all know it's filled with hornets. Okay?
Okay, yeah, do what you gotta do.
These things sting like a bitch, man.
Okay, first thing we gotta do is we gotta take your picture for the profile. So,
Yeah. So do you have the makeup?
yeah.
Oh, no makeup. Come
Well,
on.
those
Every
hornet
time-
stings are pretty bad, buddy. So I think we're
but
gonna have
I
to.
am who I am.
Right, but
Yeah,
let's do who you
Let's
are minus
pretend
the
like you're
hornet
not
stings.
who you are and just try to attract a woman.
I tell you what if I wore a checkered hat and I smoked a pipe? That worked.
Unfortunately, still very much like the manosphere. Still very fucking much like something Jeremy Boring might actually say.
Why would you want a checkered hat and a pipe?
You know, for the Sherlock Holmes look.
Why would you want to look like Sherlock Holmes? Who are you trying to attract exactly?
Intelligent women.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the photo right now without the makeup and see if he likes it. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, that felt good. Was that sexy?
That
That felt sexy.
We'll Photoshop it.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
Yeah,
let's
we'll
just
just
not
Photoshop
do that right now. Let's
You want to
let's
take
talk
another one?
Nah.
We'll find another picture that we can use, and that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your likes and dislikes. How about your favorite food? What would that be?
Oh, milk steak.
What?
Milk steak.
I'm not putting milk
Just
steak.
put steak. Just
I'm gonna put
regular
steak.
steak and then that
Don't
way
put
it's a good
steak. Put
compliment.
milk steak. She'll know what it is.
No, she won't know what it is,
She'll
Charlie.
know
Nobody
what it
knows what that
is.
is. No. Okay, all right. What's your favorite hobby?
Magnets.
Okay, what? Like making magnets, collecting magnets,
Playing with magnets.
Just magnets.
I'm gonna put snowboarding. We'll put snowboarding.
I don't really snowboard.
All right. What are some of your likes?
Ghouls.
Son of a bitch. What are you talking
You
about
know,
now?
funny little green ghouls.
What? What? Like in movies and cartoons? What?
Little green ghouls, buddy.
Don't write ghouls.
I'm not. I'm putting travel. Jesus Christ. What are your dislikes?
People's knees.
Oh, come on,
Bro.
dude.
That is like barely removed. Barely. That is almost the exact same shit. That's what these fuckos are saying.
2015 film by the director Robert Eggers. I don't like horror movies, but Eggers is a really great director, and I wanted to see this movie. It was his first big hit. It's set in New England in the 1630s. It opens with a proud man going before the
By the way, also, Rod Dreher, you don't like horror movies because you a bitch.
Puritans who run his town, and they're telling him, the town council or whatever, the board of elders says, you have to repent of this heresy. He won't repent, so he and his family get exiled to the edge of a forest. In the film, inside the forest lives a witch with demonic.
Like we're just fucking. We're talking about, again, yeah, we are talking about a fictional film as though it's a documentary. This is just, when all of these fuckos get around each other, I still think back to the classic, the iconic, the GOAT, my boy Sam, at that fucking Tim Pool dickhead, when Tim Pool in a debate tried to be like, well, you know, Thanos in the Marvel movies, and Sam just goes, I don't fucking care. Actually, Thanos represented utilitarianism, and the fucking adult that Sam has to go like, no, I don't care, because I live in the real world, right? I live in the real world. Like this is just another construction, like the same way debate bro libs like to be like, nice ad hominem, and just like, motherfucker, say what you want, I don't care. I live in the real world. This is not a debate. Life is not a fucking movie. Like, you don't get to say little green ghouls and people fucking treat you normally. We got to start shaming people more. How are these people not laughed out of everywhere they go? Oh no, Sam Cedar, what a nightmare. Hey, speaking of that, fucking what's his dumbass truck nuts McGee, fucking Steven Crowder. We gotta check that shit out. They're coming for. I guess the wife beating really tanked his reputation, so he's got to go. He's got to go hard in the paint with shit like the case for fascism. Oh man, these are the numbers Steven Crowder is pulling these days. Wowzers! Fucking yikeroonies. I can almost guarantee these are the standouts are botted because they're an hour and a half long. Is that like a podcast? Yeah, well, not botted, but probably advertised. Because there's no, like, there's nothing about that should necessitate it being almost 400K versus the other one being 27K. Rough. These numbers are fucking, like, he has almost 6 million with an M. 6 million subscribers. Jay Kung, thank you for $2. Sam Cedar with beard or without? Both. All Sam Cedar is good Sam Cedar as far as I'm concerned. That is... And the fact that he came was like the case for fascism on a video that only got 85K 3 days with 6
even the bad fascists
million.
They were a mistaken response to equally bad Marxists or leftists. And
so we need fascism because people want to like have abortions, or people want of the evidence. Any thoughts on if you want to show it? Which evidence of what? Oh, no, I'm not gonna. Nehemiah, I think for $10. Someone, anti-Zionist Jew, someone, anti-Zionist Jew, I followed, got offered $50 to go on a Jubilee vid about Zionist versus anti-Zionist. She wasn't sure if, as an Israeli Jew, which side she would be on. Also, $50 total, not per hour. Fuck, man. $50 total is crazy, but, like, the conservative dorks, there is an entire growing, and you can go watch the video I did where I interviewed Amanda Moore on this. The conservative spaces for Jubilee, it's not the same way for the liberal commentators. But if you are a conservative on there, you can use it to grift to a platform pretty fucking easily. If you can get on a couple Jubilee showings, make an ass of yourself, you can get a following. Like, make one insane, like, smug look to a camera and get somebody to go, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they'll be like, oh, leftist melts down.
Marxism, communism has killed far more people, and it's not even close. It's not even close. How often do you hear the accusation of fascism?
God, look, I understand, like, there was this whole, like, 10 years ago, slate of guys who just didn't age into themselves gracefully. Let me see, Steven Crowder, when did I first hear about him? Probably 2014 or so, right? He's been at this shit a while. Lord have fucking mercy. God in heaven. Sweet mother of Christ. That's a different fucking man. Look at that. Good God, they put the wide filter on him. He hasn't, like, he's just kind of grown vaguely more shriveled and wide. The light is fucking out of his eyes, too. What little there was left. Yeah. Woof. Nehemiah, thank you for $5. He's Kirkifying. His face is getting smaller. The conservatives have elected a new Kirk. I love the idea. Oh, that's an idea I should give to Ammon Animations. That's a fucking good, a good bit would be to have like conservatives have to elect a new pope, but they have to elect a new sacrificial Kirk. And part of the, like, physical incubation process is that the face just gets smaller. Oh. What a lack of wifely duties does to a motherfucker.
Okay. What do you think it means? All right. To begin with, communism, Marxism, socialism, responsible for at least 100 million deaths in the 20th century. Okay?
Sure, man. The numbers, what are we talking? All sources available, tribute to liberty.ca. Sure, man. The numbers, victims of communism, Cambodia, North Korea, things that, by the way, had no American intervention at all.
Seems to me that should be the starting off point for every semester of history, certainly economics, when you're looking at different.
It seems to me. Do you wonder why you're not a college professor ever? It's probably for reasons like that.
Different socioeconomic systems. 100 million dead minimum to begin with. Makes it pretty hard to say religion is the cause of all wars, right? 100 million dead, communism, that's the toll.
I didn't catch that.
Now, when action is taken to disinfect a nation, and sometimes I will admit, very radical action.
Oh my God, dude. He's gonna fucking go to bat for the CIA? Well, like that doesn't surprise me at all. But he's gonna go to bat portraying the communists as, or communists, which is essentially, by the way, historically, anybody the CIA or the U.S. intelligence apparatus deems as communists are just free for extermination. Like that's it. They don't need to actually be communists. They could just be progressives. They could just be affiliated. They could just be family of people who are affiliated, So many people have been murdered by CIA, black ops teams, or CIA-backed groups, particularly in Southeast Asia and South America. Statistics that are out there, but you don't ever really hear clocked up and counted up as much as oh no, the commies killed hundreds of millions, that they killed everybody's grandma.
Taken to deal with the root ideology and systems that have led to the death of 100 million people, the left yells fascism.
Okay, so now he is saying, at least he's being honest, that he's saying that fascism is the open alternative to communism. Like, at least he is being honest about that. It is not, though, because and again, he has this backwards on purpose. It is not because people are called communists, they need to be disinfected. People are called communist because they are advocating for specific change. Some kind of change to social norms, usually something that will make society more equal, egalitarian, progressive in some way or another, whether that's in industry or the economy or education or civil rights in some way. They all get filed on. Remember, we were talking at the beginning. We were talking about the wide, big-ass umbrella of progressive issues, that they will just keep finding new ways to put shit under it. It's like that with whatever they call communism. They will just keep finding new ways. And here's the thing. This is really good because we've seen multiple times, we've seen for the last 15 years how people don't really care who's a communist or not. And motherfuckers will call Chuck Schumer a Marxist. Like, what are you talking about?
The problem is fascism has been used historically, not in the way that you've been told. It's been used against.
Ooh, you're walking a thin line here, buddy. You're walking a thin, buddy. He stumbled. He's like, hold on. Well, fascist, because he's like half a second away from being like, fascism's just good. Like, why don't we have fascism? We should have more fascism. But then he's like, well, okay, hang on. I still got like grandmas who watch me and are like, oh, he's such a handsome young man.
Against communism, because with communism, socialism, right? You vote them in, you have to shoot your way out. They don't leave.
Can we get a bingo card? Can we get a bingo card for accusing communism and socialism? This again, fictionalized version of communism, socialism that bears little to no resemblance to actual communism, socialism. Could we get accusing it of doing the things that capital is doing right now? Could we get accusing it of doing the things that the government is doing right now? The conservative, anti-communist government. Could we get the because we just got was fucking. I'm just going to look up Minority Report because I know it's going to come up. Yep, right there. FBI seeks AI for political watch list. Documents show the FBI seeking AI tools to flag Americans before they act as the terror watch list focus moves towards domestic dissent. And we've seen from all the fucking House hearings we've seen with Kash Patel and all of these other dickwads how much they are trying to move the Overton window from focusing on the actual people who are just out here murdering in America, the actual right-wingers, the Nazi groups who are like Patriot Front, violent assholes who are out here trying to destroy and tear apart communities. People like Jake Lang, they'll do nothing about. But oh no, it's the radical left. It's these Antifa terrorists and all this other bullshit. Like, he wants to sit and be like, oh no, it's because once you let it take hold, it will never. What the fuck do you call this? What do you think this is gonna be easy to scrub from infrastructure? I don't think so.
They attain power, and they nationalize the means of production, distribution, which, by the way, is the goal of Marxism.
Yeah. The people who make shit should have an equal say in what happens with the profits of it. You see, and I understand how a business owner like yourself, a fat cat who lives up to the name more every day, might have issue with this. But in the real world, that would actually be a just way to run things, particularly in our modernized and fully industrialized society, where the fact that workers, we are now wrapping back around to where industrialization started, where workers are starting to have less and less and less rights. Again, it is not about actually instituting Karl Marx's theory of economics. It is not about emulating Stalinism or Leninism or even Trotskyism or Maoism or any of that bullshit. When people look, especially in America and in the Western quadrant, when they look to theory, when they look to issues from the past, and I say this hopefully, it should not be for a steadfast guide of, oh, if we do all these things, then everything's going to turn out peachy, because that's not the way it's realistically going to happen. In a nation of millions and millions of people, regardless of what structures survive or collapse in the next decades, it is never, under any circumstances, going to be down to the letter an institution of all the worst shit that they fearmonger about. Because that's not what people are taking from these prior struggles. That's not what people are taking from the people of the past who observed all the shit that's coming true right now. The reason people today, particularly young people, gravitate more and more towards further left ideologies and economic principles is because those are the things that affect them. Those are the things describing their reality, which was not the fucking case in past decades in America. Why would kids today go and be like, hey, maybe this communism has a fucking point? I don't know. Could be the fact that they're looking at their grandparents who were telling them, well, back in my day, I bought a house working part-time at Sears and 3 cars for $10,000. And that's the fucking price of paying off their goddamn, like, not even a car. That's like one payment on their fucking student loans that they're never going to get down. The realities of capital, and these are, again, things pointed out by Marx. The realities of capital is that the system itself is unsustainable because it cannot help but try to continuously consume and expand, even when there is nothing more to consume or expand onto. It is a lot like colonialism in this way. Somebody asked me, or I got in a fucking argument yesterday with Bad Empanada. Well, Bad Empanada tried lying about me publicly again, and I set the record straight. But somebody did ask in the comments, can you be not asked me, they asked somebody else, can you be a Zionist and be pro-Palestine? And I thought about this, and the answer is no. Because to be a supporter of the Zionist agenda is to be a supporter of colonialism, of a colonial state. Without the mandate, Zionism is the justification for Gazan genocide. The two are inextricably linked. The idea that somebody is owed land that did not belong to them, that somebody else is on, is the entire excuse for the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Colonialism and capitalism go hand in hand for these exact reasons. They are hungry for expansion, constantly hungry for resources. They do not care who they have to hurt. They do not care who dies in fucking sub-Saharan Africa. how many kids get some form of obscure oxide poisoning you're never going to see to make iPhones. Elon Musk doesn't give a fuck about the environment. Peter Thiel doesn't give a fuck about the environment. They don't care where the minerals are coming from. They don't care what black neighborhoods they have to poison with their AI data centers sending particulates into the air. They don't care how many species will go extinct so they can fucking Scrooge McDuck into a big pile of gold in their cartoonishly large villain mansions. And nothing will ever fully sate them. In the brief history of industrialization, because humanity has always had rich people. We've always had kings. We have always had viziers and advisors and rulers and governors and all sorts of other shit. Feudal lords. We've always had people who were above others. We've always had social strata. We have never had, after the period of industrialization across the world, we have never seen so much wealth consolidated, so much wealth and power consolidated with so few people who can wield it so widely. Right? Like, you can look and say, and I'm sure adding up money, I'm sure there's a fucking pharaoh or some king of England who technically, on paper, might have had a couple more ducats to his name than, Elon Musk or whoever. But they weren't able to start calling shots and share something that would affect geopolitical turmoil around the world. Right? Sorry. Mackenzie, I'll thank you for $5. The more I see people pushing back against billionaires, the more I see their bootlickers triple down and claim said billionaires deserve undying praise. No, and it's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing as when people, like in the Elon Musk comment section. Like, people, there's something that makes me want to just grab people and fucking shake them when they bootlick Elon Musk. Because it's so... it's dehumanizing to yourself. I genuinely feel... I had somebody ask me one time, because we were talking about, political theory, and they were like, so what do you think about great man theory? And I said, no, there are no great men. There are the lies of great men. But there is no one person who is born inherently greater than another. There is no person born, because that gets into a whole thing. Because if you believe that, you have to kind of get into the idea of fate and all that shit. Or somebody is destined to be great. It's like, no. Everybody basically just gets lucky or works really, really hard to get lucky. And when I see people groveling to people like Elon Musk, just being like, you are a fucking worm. You are sitting down here being like, oh my gosh, you are so much greater than everybody else. Oh, look at this hero of humanity. And it's like, no, I want to fucking, I just want to say, have some fucking respect. Hey, have respect for yourself. Do you not have a beating heart? Do you not got fucking blood in your veins? And you're acquiescing your will and this fealty to somebody else? To some man that wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire? What the fuck, man? Ugh. Anyway. Ominous Snowflake, thank you for following very ominously. Nehemia, thank you for $2. What did BE say this time exactly? I must know. You can go fucking look it up. It's the same shit where he goes back and finds a clip from a stream I did 3 years ago and gets a 1-minute clip where I very clumsily, and I've talked about this, I've addressed it, and I shouldn't have said things the way I did. He clips it so that you don't get my full explanation, of course. But makes essentially trying to make it look like I am a rabid Zionist. You can go look at my Twitter. I had a whole back and forth with him, but fuck off, dude. No, exactly, Zetetic. To get back to, because I know we've gone off the rails a little bit, but When you ask a capitalist what's wrong with communism, as Zetetic says, they tell you what's wrong with capitalism. And that's generally what we're seeing now. Because there are similarities between the authoritarian styles of capital and consumerism and, well, what we have right now. Sorry, my headset. I'm so sorry. My headset died. Oh my gosh. Uma Palma, thank you for rating with a party of 31. I hope you had a good stream. It's a ho 69. Thank you for following. We COINTELPRO got me. They got me. CIA muted them. We were just talking about their secrets too. We actually kind of were. Vesper, look at the chat. What? Oh no, I see it. We're good. We're good. We're back. We're Joe back. We're Joe vibing over here. Can people still wait? People can hear me now, right? I've heard about Trump bringing back the Red Scare to go after Mamdani. Oh no, we've been talking about that. Yeah, we're right about to talk about, or well, right about. We're right in the middle of talking about fear mongering over particularly communism, and it's rough. It's rough out here because this fucking dork is talking about the case for fascism. Steven Crowder is getting more and more, just getting puffier by the day. I feel like he's like feeding off of Alex Jones's life essence now. Like Alex Jones gets thinner and Steven Crowder, he doesn't get fatter, he just gets whiter and slightly, like a slightly different shade of red. But yeah, it's I forgot. God damn it, I forgot what I was saying. Talking about communism, talking about problems with capitalism, and every time there's a problem with capitalism, they call it communism. I don't remember. The problem with authoritarianism overall is that you really can't consolidate any amount of power and let people get away with bullshit. And the problem is that anybody in a position of power, when you tell them, hey, or not even tell them, but like present to them a system in which they might be able to get away with some bullshit, it's almost an impossibility that you get somebody who does not try and get to that role and try to get away with some bullshit, which is what we're seeing right now with Trump. Trump is the ultimate eventuality of the system we've created and let loose for so long. Trump is, and I've talked about this before, Trump is like kind of what America deserves. It is fitting. He is a hack-ass, completely failed, multiple times bankrupted real estate developer, reality show TV game show host. Like, he is the American id synthesized into this slovenly McDonald's wrapper of a human being. Which kind of was always going to happen. Like, we have put so many checks and balances, purportedly, with the idea of creating a more equal society. And over time, so many people, so many rich people particularly, have looked at those checks and balances and gone, yeah, but maybe not for me, right? And there have been a lot of people throughout time have said, no, actually, yeah, for you. But a lot of fucking people, a lot of senators, a lot of lawmakers, a lot of people who are just super chill with lobbyists have continued wearing that facade down more and more, being like, yeah, you know what? You're chill, dude. Yeah, you're fine. What? Oh, your lobbying group is how much to my reelection campaign? Oh, no, please, yes. Do whatever you want. Would you like me to put my finger in there too while I'm down there? Like, private interests, more than ever. It's not, people want to talk about, oh, Israel owns America, AIPAC owns blah, blah, blah. It's not fucking Israel. It's not AIPAC. It's not a Jewish lobby. It's not the Jews. It's none of that bullshit. None of this conspiracy horseshit. It comes down to, it's the rich. It's the people with the money who don't want everybody else to have the money. Like, Trump, for example, do you think Trump gives a fuck about Israel and Netanyahu? And every time Trump says, greatest ally, I can feel him falling asleep before the phrase is fucking done. He doesn't give a shit. What he cares about, the simoleons, the ducats, the green, the bread, the cheddar, the cheese, the fettuccine. And that is a language permeates all cultural boundaries. Well, I should say that it isn't money that permeates those cultural boundaries. It's control. It's the feeling of control. This feeling that so many of these people feel destined, ordained. Every single one of these dipshits is cloistered in their own, and you saw it with the Elon Musk interview, where the reason he felt so confident going toe-to-toe with the editor-in-chief of The Economist, telling her she's wrong about the economy and the country she lives in, is because Elon Musk can afford to genuinely live a life where he is surrounded by people who won't tell him no at any turn. Same thing with Trump. Willing to bet. Same thing with Bezos and Zuckerberg and Thiel and Karp and all the rest of them. They believe so assuredly that they have the divine right of kings. Every single one of them. And they manage to maintain that facade in their head because they will not hear any different. It's why when you see Trump, by the way, react to authoritarians and strongmen and people we're talking about, like, oh, he sure does love Kim Jong-un. Oh, he really likes Bolsonaro and, all these other fucking assholes around the world, Benjamin Netanyahu included. It's not that he's drawn to their fucking riz. It's not that he is actually, Trump is not charmed by Putin. He is not charmed by somebody as gormless as fucking Bolsonaro. They align in their interests and methods. Those interests are completely self-serving. Those methods are obfuscating and suppressing dissent. Like, look at who's that one psychopath? I have his fucking crazy face in my head right now. It's gonna kill me. What's his name? Argentina. Milei. Fuck, thank you. Like Javier Milei. That's a person I can tell. Nobody in Javier Milei's sphere is ever comfortable just being in the same space, occupying the same skin space as that person. Trump, least of all. But he's willing to play it up in front of the cameras because they're cut from the same cloth. And at the end of the day, people like Steven Crowder and all of the work they do to run interference for these fucking ghouls is just to continue underlining that we... Oh no, did I lose Mike? Or are we... Okay, you hear. Okay, cool. Just to continue underlining that they support, people like Steven Crowder, they are just a slightly more, like a Pokemon, a slightly more evolved version of that Elon Musk reply guy, right? Like they are just a slightly more evolved version of the groveler who is willing to take a slightly lower rung if they can acquiesce their willpower, their independence, their free spirit for a feeling, not genuine, but a feeling of security, which for most people in our incredibly privileged Western world means just hurting the people you want to see hurt. It's not genuine security to have ICE out on the streets, but to somebody like Steven who can afford to remain insulated from public strife and urban unrest, oh, it sure does. I bet it fucking feels good for him to kick up his feet on his fucking lazy boy and watch police beating rioters with batons. And maybe the bad shit will never come for somebody like Steven. Maybe he's enough in the middle of it all to remain entirely insulated from the consequences of the shit that he spends his life spreading. But the same will not be true of everybody. And I think a time is coming when more and more people will start waking up to these dynamics. More and more people will start waking up to how all of these struggles interact and Who 88, thank you for following. Goblin Culinarian, thank you for 50 bits. Stevie looks like he got bit by a particularly large spider, dude, swollen up like an NBA game ball. It's a host 69. Thank you very much for following. All right.
You've probably been taught, or maybe not even taught. You just have teachers point to historical examples of fascists. Maybe even just one or two, and then go, see, fascism bad.
What teacher is pointing to a the fucking work he's doing to, like, it really sounds like he's gonna get ready to start being like, hey, is like Mussolini pretty good, right? Like, where's this going, buddy?
We did a little bit more. Well, hold on a second. We always want to ask why. It doesn't justify it, but
he's okay. No, I get it. He's trying to get some of that Nick Fuentes shit. He's trying to get on that Nick Fuentes, like, I'm just asking questions here. Like, he's trying to do that fucking cowardly bullshit of being like, well, actually, if you look into it, have you just come out. If I have no stomach for this faux, earnest, like, beating around the bush bullshit. I cannot stand it. It is so disingenuous. It sets my teeth on edge.
Left, who is so willing to ask why when someone commits a heinous crime against an innocent person and is willing to fight to get them out of prison, which they also don't believe in, that's a part of Marxism. They're not willing to ask why someone...
Is that a part of Marxism? I must have missed the part of... Oh, weird. Karl Marx did not write a dedicated theory of prison abolition. He and Friedrich Engels viewed prison as tools of class control used by the capitalist state to protect private property and manage the working class. Well, gee, that's crazy. It's almost like from there you can extrapolate the modern hell that we have with the prison industrial complex, where police and ICE are incentivized to just arrest people because they get paid. And then when those people are put in to private contracted industrial complexes, not only are they able to have free labor, but then the state will pay for-profit prisons. It's almost like if you allow the exploitation of human beings at any level, it's almost like if you allow stripping somebody of their freedom, then capitalists, business magnates, landlords will try and take it as far as they possibly fucking can. I'm just saying. I don't know.
May have risen to power with a mandate of the masses against the representatives of an ideology that has killed, again, 100 million people in the 20th century. So here's how we're going to define fascism. The way the left does. Every time someone does something to prevent the left from completely...
Here we go. Because he has to use this completely fake, made-up definition of fascism. It's like when people say, oh, you just call anybody a Nazi. And it's like, well, I mean, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. If I put somebody in a room with an actual Nazi and they agree with somebody on 99% of shit, but they just don't like being, they think that's an icky word, I'm sorry, I'm going to call them a fucking Nazi. Like, I don't really care about the nuance of your preferred fucking identity when functionally it's the same thing politically. Like, this isn't a personal choice. You don't get to not identify as a Nazi if you act, sound, and look like a Nazi. I always love when Jordan's Southern accent comes out for a bit, because for a split second they sound like Gabriel Knight. Do I have a Southern accent? Oh, I guess I put on an affect.
Converting a nation or to try and reverse course. The left wants you to believe that fascism, not Marxism, not communism, 100 million dead.
Is that his only talking point? 100 million dead. Do we want to start marking how many atrophy, disability. Let me see. Industrial Revolution. Deaths. There we go. Hundreds of thousands of workers died from unsafe machinery, toxic factory and mine conditions, and severe urban pollution. Global totals are unknown, but historical estimates show tens of thousands of annual workplace fatalities in the U.S. alone during peak industrialization. Crazy. What do we got? This is 2015. Document outline. Mortality was extremely high. Jesus. Industrial using long difference regressions, and this looks like it's just also in Europe and America, so we're already looking at probably a couple 100,000. Fuck, man. Let me see. Oh, crazy. British colonialism killed 100 million Indians in 40 years. Oh, that's crazy. Between 1880 and 1920, British colonial policies in India claimed more lives than all families in the Soviet Union, Maoist China, and North Korea combined. Well, because that was done for trade. So if we want to talk about like policy, because it was they were using workers and they were enslaving people and they were colonizing and stealing their land and resources and doing it to make money. Well, I get that. I mean, they capitalized on it. So I'm going to chalk that one up to capitalism. What's the Belgian Congo death toll? Oh, no fucking shit ass fuck. Historians estimate that roughly 10 million people died, shrinking the population by about half during the brutal rubber and ivory rule of King Leopold II of Belgium. Although exact figures are hard to prove, and total span from 1.2 million to 50 million. You know what? Let's hedge it on the low side. Let's see, War on Terror death toll. Let's see what we got. Oh, which again was a war that we started for oil. Like that we went and murdered people and taught them, not just murdered people, we also taught their countrymen how to better murder them for oil, for ExxonMobil, for Chevron. Per cost of war project, 4.5 to 4.6 million people killed. 937,000 direct deaths, including 387,000 plus civilians. 3.6 to 3.7 million indirect deaths. Oh, And then, yeah, Marmot King, all the people killed by CIA in Central America, all the people killed in Laos, all the people killed in Cambodia, all the people killed with the CIA back operations, trying to make sure that there weren't any communist uprisings anywhere where we might be getting food or trade from. Maybe look up where things like the Banana Republic came from. Just the name, Banana Republic. You know what? I'll help. You know what? Let's it's in a book. Let's read it together. Describes a politically and economically unstable country with an economy dependent upon the export of natural resources. Coined the term to describe the fictional Republic of Anchuria. Inspired by his experiences in Honduras, whose economy was heavily dependent on the export of bananas. In the 20th century, United Fruit Company was instrumental in the creation of the Banana Republic phenomenon. Together with U.S. corporations, leveraging the power of the government, the corporation created the political, economic, and social circumstances that led to a coup of the locally elected democratic government. Oh, wait! But you're telling me that, America helped overthrow a democratic government with the fruit, but that would mean capitalism did it bad. No official apology. Yeah, no shit. The Dole Fruit Company. There you go, dog. Right. Sorry, lady is. Oh yeah, and commendable. That's not even talking about like various intelligence agency operations. Like that's not even talking about, much smaller death tolls, which I'm sure you could fucking rack up over time of shit. Like I would even include the FBI assassination plans and murders like Fred Hampton in there. Because ultimately, if we want to talk about it, that's also comes back to defending capital. Production output, number of employees. United Fruits. Based in Boston. Palmer became a member, business point of view. Plantations in the West Indies capitalized at $11.23 million at its founding. Let's look up interesting. Guatemalan genocide, also referred to as the Maya genocide or the silent Holocaust, was the mass killing of the Maya indigenous people during the Guatemalan Civil War by successive Guatemalan military governments that first took power following the CIA-instigated 1954 Guatemalan coup. Massacres, forced disappearances, tortures, and summary executions of guerrillas. And I use that, by the way, because you need to understand, again, if you want a good... The three really good books I'll actually recommend on this subject are Franz Fanon's, what is the name of that? Franz Fanon's, sorry, I have my book list right here. Wretched of the Earth. Franz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth. Franz, F-R-A-N-Z, Fanon, F-A-N-O-N. The Jakarta Method is another really good one by Vincent Blevins. And then, you know what? For good measure, Jakarta Method, and I've been talking about this for months because I read both of them. I read one of them again this year. But I read both of them kind of back to back. But Jakarta Method and the Fort Bragg Cartel. Go read those three, and they will give you a much better comprehensive look at shit like this. A much better understanding of, as much as, because the other thing that really fucking chaps my khakis, really butters my biscuits, really grates my cheese, is when people like Steven Crowder, they try and play into this line of, I need to move my camera because I keep hedging over. They try and play into this line of like, oh, all these liberal college teachers, they just indoctrinate people and they just tell you fascism bad. But the actual reality of liberalism is that you can't have liberalism, you can't have this kind of like vague centrism without reinforcing its own power structure. So you don't actually, you might hear about how fascism bad in vague terms, but you won't hear about in your average college class, certainly, God fucking forbid, your American studies class in high school or middle school. You won't hear about this shit. Do you know why? Because it doesn't make you a better American. It doesn't make you a better patriot to know about all the shit that had to happen, all the people who had to die to get the comfortable life, even by struggling American standards, the life that we have. Sorry. Human Rights Watch has documented extraordinarily cruel, quote, actions by the armed forces, mostly against civilians. Anti-communism was one of the main justifications for mass killings, with the military conflating Maya identity with communist subversion. Again, where have we heard this before? Where have we heard the conflation of an identity or an outgroup being inherently linked to, and I say this, by the way, in America as a trans person right now. We kind of opened this stream talking about how prejudice and methods of oppression and control aren't the same, but they do rhyme. And last stream we talked about how so many of our struggles internationally come down to the same thing, come down to the same hopes and wants for a better future for everybody, or at least to be free from the struggles that encumber us now. And this is a great example. I don't know what it's like, obviously, to be an indigenous Maya targeted and murdered by a CIA-backed state. I don't know what it's like to even live in that kind of fear. But I do know what it's like to have an intelligence agency and know at some level people like me fit into a group that for no reason is regarded as more dangerous, more radical, and is targeted more because of that. All of these things rhyme. Gauge Money, yeah, read Fort Bragg Cartel, good read on Afghanistan drug smuggling. Fort Bragg Cartel is fucking mind-blowing. Like, the work Seth Harp? Why do I think that's... I think it's Seth Harp. Did on that is... It is heartbreaking and mind-blowing in equal measure, but I guarantee you will never look at a Special Forces soldier the same fucking way again. You will... It's one of those books that kind of shatters... Well, not shatters, but if you are certainly more, amenable or sympathetic to soldiers and Special Forces and stuff than I was, I can imagine it would be a shattering experience. I can imagine it would be like... It's the kind of shit that fucking... Like, you won't ever look at a Special Forces soldier the same way again. Even if you are hardcore on the line of, like, they are tools of oligarchy and just jingoistic murderers and hired thugs and killers, like, even if you're on that tip, like, let me tell you, you're not fucking ready. You're not ready for how fucked up that shit is. Piccolo the Goat, my dad was a soldier. Is it all right if I like him? Well, I'm not talking about soldiers. I'm talking about Special Forces. Like, very, very different. Like, I'm not talking about like regular enlisted people who fucking just ran base maintenance, never saw combat. Like I'm not talking about the people who sat behind desks, crunched numbers, like ran inventory, just kept the latrines, like nothing. I'm talking about Green Berets, Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6. All of these people are I actually started, well, I won't talk about that yet. But they're the, like, I've read a lot because I have a very morbid sense of curiosity, if y'all couldn't tell. And I've read a lot into various crimes, various murders, and like killings and stuff like that. I actually went down a serial killer rabbit hole not that long ago, just because like I'm fascinated by shit. Like, and when I get going on a topic, I want to know more about it. And this was I was watching a Japanese movie that was, what was it called? Oh yeah, Flower of Flesh and Blood, which I cannot. If you are squeamish at all, just straight up don't watch it. But it was a very, like, kind of legendarily gory underground Japanese movie that was kind of notorious because I think Charlie Sheen got a copy and thought it was a real snuff video. It's not that bad. Like, it's fucked up, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, are we going to trust Charlie Sheen? I don't think so. Whatever. But it sent me down a rabbit hole of, like, looking at, because it was based on, loosely, in the same way Texas Chainsaw is based on a true story, it was based on a real Japanese serial killer, which then I read that Wikipedia article. It had links to other ones, and I just got reading about serial killers, as, you know, like you do. And believe me when I tell you, the most fucked up serial killers you've ever heard about have nothing on American Special Forces operators. Like, the level of depravity and defilement, and by the way, just the stuff that people know about, will send you a shiver down your fucking spine. I don't care how badass you are. I don't care how much shit you've seen. It fucks you up to think about it. That is how evil the acts I'm talking about are. And I need you to also understand two additional things. One, Israeli torture techniques were aided, formed, and taught by people like that. By people like the ones I just talked about. The shit that Gazans and Palestinians and anybody else who gets taken in by the IOF, they are subjected to inhumanity that would make Abu Ghraib look like a fucking birthday party. That we will likely never know the true dark extent of it all. Right? El Salve, thank you for $10. Worst job was when I lasted for 4 days. Why? My boss from the first day accused me of being ashamed of my own race because I identified biracial and never behaved like a stereotypical Filipino or Chinese. That's such a weird, I mean, like, but also good on you. I would fucking quit too. Not that I, like, what am I going to say? Oh, yeah, I'm biracial, fucking German and Dutch. Biracial white is crazy. That's a great idea for like a comedy bit, is white guy who's reeling into being biracial, but it's just different white, different versions of being white. Pack 1996, thank you for $5. Going to throw in the book The Politics of Heroin, the CIA's Complicity in the International Drug Trade by Alfred W. McCoy. I need to actually read that one. That's been on my list for a minute. Dustin the Damn, thank you for 28 months in a row, 34 total. I can't fucking believe I've been doing this for 34 months. Oh, that's almost 3 full years. Hello, Vesper. Hello, Dustin. And Nehemia, thank you for $5. Fun game. Guess how many Nazis were punished after the war? Now, do you think it's more or less than those inducted into Western governments and industries? Yeah, definitely don't look up Project Paperclip at all. And Ice Department boss, thank you for follow. It is, yeah, I have such a low tolerance for the talking point that Stephen loves to hammer on, the talking point that like, oh, well, 10 million, 100, this many million. Because, dude, do we really want to start running the fucking numbers? Do we really? The reason that nobody brings it up about capital is that people like to disambiguate capital. People like to say, well, no, it's just a couple bad apples. Oh, no, it's just one bad company. Oh, no, they just made a little oopsie-doodle. It's just a mistake. Meanwhile, all the same libertarian-ass motherfuckers are constantly trying to remove any and all regulation so they can just keep doing that shit again. If you think for a fucking moment that the rich and billionaires of the world would not snap their fingers if they could and turn you into a person literally in chains, if it upped their profit margin, if it made shareholders happy, they absolutely would. Doesn't matter if you're American, doesn't matter if you're British. They don't give a fuck. All right, chat, can you believe I have spent an hour ranting and reacting to Crowder's 3 minutes? But you know what? Actually, it's a good jumping off point. Let's talk about more capitalism, huh? Systematic use of terror against the Maya began in 1975, peaked around the first half of the 1980s. Military carried out at least 626 massacres, destroying 440 villages between 81 and 83. In some municipalities, at least one-third of all villages were evacuated or destroyed by the army. Children were often targets of mass killings by the army, including the Rio Negro massacres. And a 1984 report by Human Rights Watch discussed, quote, the murder of thousands by a military government that maintains its authority by terror. Jesus Christ. Juvenile division of the Guatemala Supreme Court estimated over 200,000 children had lost at least one parent, and that between 45 and 60,000 adult Guatemalans have been killed between 1980 and 85. So the CIA-backed 1954 Guatemalan coup deposed the democratically elected Guatemalan president, Jacobo Arbenz, and marked the end of the revolution. The coup had the goal of stopping and reverting the increasingly progressive policies of the democratically elected Guatemalan government. Another important thing to remember, every time, when people, it comes back a lot to the point where conservatives will be like, communism's never been really tried officially. It's because anytime somebody gets vaguely progressive, they start looking over at progressive reforms in a foreign country. America goes, ha, nah, nuh-uh, no, none of that for you, and then we pull shit like this, with just enough proximity, standing just far enough back that people go, is that you, America? I thought I saw you training people how to fucking throw people out of... I thought I saw you responsible for Pinochet. I'm on to you. Hannah Grace V. You ever seen the IOF PSYOP Lust accounts? Natalia Fadiv, the most popular one. Is she the cooter girl? Is she the girl what fucking talks about the IOF with just like with her woohoo all the way out? It is, yeah. I'm pretending the coochie lady is Gen AI. She might as well be. Fuck it, who cares? Like the cooter, the cooter mogger is fucking crazy. Oh. Cooter mogging is fucking rad. And yeah, Nullifier Pro, the School of the Americas. Like, we literally had, again, almost any aspect of global terror can be traced back to either the British Empire or America. Like, well, when I say global terror, well, also, yeah, global terror. No, we literally set up, like, the CIA backed Saddam Hussein in the 70s and shit. Like, anything is downstream of either American intervention or blowback for American intervention, or, you know, trickles down from decades of colonialism and its after effects. All right.
Is the biggest, greatest, evil threat in the world.
Her handle is gun waifu? Nah, man. Like, look, the Cootermogger is funny to me because on some level, I got it. I like, and maybe it's just as somebody who has an OnlyFans, who does cosplay work, who, like, I get the need to get eyes on your stuff. But at some level, I do admire the ingenuity. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day she just comes out and she's like, oh yeah, I don't believe any of that shit. Like, in fucking Israel, who gives a shit? I don't think that she's, like, secretly pro-Palestine or anything. But I think she, more likely than not, I think she probably doesn't actually care. She just found a locked-in grift. Being, like, combining rabid Zionism with rabid fucking trad wife navel-gazing, like, the weird trad wife fetish window shopping assholes who will just, like, yes, thank you, I love you, queen, your feet are looking lovely today, queen. Like, she figured it out. She figured it, like, she cracked a fucking code. Honestly, I have a hard time holding it against her. She found the fucking gravy train with biscuit wheels, and it's just wearing yoga pants, spreading your yams, and showing feet in a fucking TikTok video. Johnny Viral, thank you for $2. Oh my God, Steven Whiter, what a nightmare. Dewey Lou, thank you for $2. Since 1950, Africa has had over 220 coups. It is the global South, Africa, South America, all across Southeast Asia, is permanently, like, they will never, they've been permanently hobbled by capital, essentially. Poses look totally natural. It's like, yeah, so for those who don't know, there's this girl who's been going around. She kind of, I think Hassan dunked on her or something. It's just funny. It's just funny. I just keep looking at it. The funniest part of it is that now there are a bunch of, like, progressive political commentators. Like, I've seen a number of like, you know, leftist women doing the same shtick, but, like, drawing attention to the IOF genocide and the occupation in Gaza and all that stuff. And I think it's great. Honestly, it's a great new format we're on. It's, you know what? It is better to me than the people who, like, you know, like, whenever, I don't know their, like, stream names, but they'll, you know, put green paint on their ass or something and chroma key playing Fortnite or some shit. Like, that's way less good than this. I just laugh at it. I just think it's like, that was pretty good shit. That was pretty good. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Whoa. See, I am so bummed that I'm almost at, like, 600 viewers across both my platforms, which, thank you, by the way, everybody who's here right now. Thank you for sitting here listening to me yap. I appreciate it. if you haven't yet, so 2 things. If you haven't yet, go like, subscribe, follow, subscribe on Twitch. I have a new channel, by the way, Dead Domain Live. It's where any stream clips, highlights, I edit down. I'll probably be doing a couple from this stream. So if you missed anything at the beginning, anything you wanted to check out, or if you missed things like me reacting to Elon Musk's Economist interview, which I have a whole breakdown there. If you missed us playing the first half of the fucking Citizen Vigilante video game on there. However, don't forget to go over and like and subscribe to the main channel, Dead Domain, over on YouTube, because I have, and I need you to listen to me, one of my favorite videos I've done this year is coming soon. I recorded it today. I'm so happy with the script, so happy with the way it came out. I have a full review / skit / transcendental meditation / nightmarish hell journey that I'm editing. I've edited some of it today. I recorded all of it today, and will be shared on the channel soon about a certain nightmarish video game odyssey I went on. That I think will be, if you've liked especially the stuff that I've been trying to do recently that's been a little bit more comedic, I think you'll probably like that. And yes, I am signing off, unfortunately. We are going to go over to, just because it is getting a little late, I got to take my pooch out one more time. I got to go snuggle my partner. We might see if we can go see Spider-Man or something. It's Friday night. You know, don't spend all night on stream. Go out, go do something. Go say hi. Go dance with a girl down at the soda fountain and play jacks or whatever it is kids do these days. Let's go. Who do we got? I think we're just going to go say hi to Caroline Kwan. Because Caroline's been really nice to us lately. And Caroline is covering another thing. We covered this a little bit last time, but the scumfuck Ohio representative wife beater, who is just a real CNX Tuesday. So if you wouldn't mind, please go say hi to Caroline for me, and like, follow, subscribe there. Stay tuned to all the channel, do all the things, and read books. Pick up a book. Pick up one of the books that we talked about today. Go do something to better yourself between now and next time, and I will see you all next time. Well, shit, I forgot to raid. Well, okay, give me like 10 seconds, and then I'll see y'all next time, because I gotta wait for the raid to load, but have a good one. Thank you very much, Podsism. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sanctity Georgie. And all in all, it's good. Thank you.